Welcome into Peanut Butter and Triggered. So great to see you all. I am Scott, joined by my man
Jay Eastwood. What's up?
Hey, we just wanted to say sorry. We've been gone for a couple weeks. I've been very busy. I just moved. The past 2 weeks, I basically moved the whole time. It was crazy. I was packing every night after work, and yeah. So just kind of wanted to update you on that. Also, I wanted to say, next week, we're really hoping to push out a little bit of a live stream during it and maybe have some audience participation. We said that we might do it this week, but we just don't have the tools. I don't have the tools. So we're hoping to be able to do that next week. So yeah, we think we got a good podcast for you, a comeback podcast. So let's get right into it. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So let's talk news first.
News. First off, I'm going to talk a little bit about Fallout 76, a little game that a lot of people are talking about. Specifically, the ratings are pretty bad.
What ratings are we talking about?
Like the video game ratings, like
wow.
the different people doing reviews and such. And I think the long and the short of it is, it's like, imagine Fallout 4 minus the story. So you're kind of just going around picking up random quests from people.
Wandering around aimlessly.
Yeah, and the PvP apparently isn't particularly fleshed out. If you get killed, you just like respawn and keep going. So there's no
like consequence.
There's no consequence. You lose the junk you have, but really there's so much junk in Fallout. Most people don't really care. Most people are saying that it's pretty fun if you have friends, and if you don't, it can be fun at first, but it gets boring. So it's just. Yeah, so Fallout 76, I'm probably not going to get it. Are you going to get it?
It's not my pick, it sucks.
I want to give it a shot, but I might be waiting for like crazy Black Friday deals because I don't want to pay full price for it now.
That's what I'm thinking too. Plus, I'm still like 50% through Red Dead and also into Battlefield right now, so...
Yeah, I mean, with life coming at us pretty fast lately, I've hardly touched my Red Dead. And I am super stoked for any sort of like online to come out.
For Red Dead, yeah. They said it was by the end of November, but they have not said a single thing about it.
There were rumors that there might be like Red Dead Undead DLC that will be coming for online as well. So
that'd be fun.
That would be awesome, especially if you can co-op against all of the undead. That would be dope.
I'm hoping that, because now that we're a little deeper into the game and you actually kind of get to upgrade your camp, I'm hoping that online there's some sort of element like that.
Yeah.
Where you have kind of your own camp and you upgrade them, and that's how you get ammo and stuff. And then or even your team, you have a posse with your own camp. So I could go to our camp that I could see your shit like over there and see what you've kind of amassed. That would be cool. And
then like it would kind of add to the idea of contributing your cut to the camp. That would be dope, because then like while somebody grinds and donates whatever they want to the camp, then so and so that like needs to be up to speed can start like getting attachments and like upgrades to their weapons too, so they're not left behind.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, so anyway, kind of off topic, that's totally fine. Fallout 76 ratings. The other thing is they said that if you played the beta, you basically played the game. They called it the beta, but a lot of people are saying the bugs still persist, and it's just kind of the same game. And I mean, the beta was released a week before the game was, so what can you really fix, But anyway, moving right on. Adidas released a Dragon Ball Z set of sneakers that actually says over 9,000 on the heel. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Not really gaming news, but I did think that was kind of funny. Are you a Dragon Ball Z fan?
No, I'm like the one person on Earth that's not. I feel like everybody in their
we're
mama.
One of two.
Okay, so I feel like just me and you are the two people that out of everybody in their mama that doesn't like Dragon Ball Z.
So we're probably the only people not competent enough with this situation to be able to report on this news.
I mean, I've heard enough about it, and I guess seen enough about it to understand what it's about. It just seems super corny to me.
Yeah.
I mean, but for all of you out there that are Dragon Ball Z fans,
say hello to your mother for me.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. No, but like I get why there are a ton of fans, and I like stuff that nobody likes.
It's just an anime.
But apparently everybody loves this except for me. So
yeah, and me, I guess.
Yeah. I remember there was always that debate, like who'd win in a fight, Goku or Superman. Everybody, like even Superman fans were like, no, dude, Goku would win.
Really? Is he that strong in that show?
Dude, he's like, the only reason he's alive is to fight. That's his only purpose on Earth. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And sometimes not even on Earth.
Wow.
And like there are tons of things that he can do, but like he's even gotten to the point where like I think he can like he has like foresight or something like that where he knows like what somebody's gonna do before they do it. So
I know nothing about that show, so you know more than me.
Yeah. Well, maybe I guess I do.
A couple more pieces of news. Call of Duty swatter pleads guilty to 51 charges.
Oh no.
So if anybody, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of this, but what swatting is basically specifically usually targeted at a streamer. It's where you call the police on the streamer and say that, you know, the streamer has a gun and is holding up his family, and then the police show up as SWAT. And this particular kid called the police, and the police showed up at the guy's house and shot him by accident. And so he got in some trouble. The long and the short of it is that's really not cool, specifically because it's a complete and utter waste of, time and money and effort by the police. They could be doing something different. But I found that to be interesting. So, don't SWAT.
Yeah, please don't.
Last two pieces, which I think are the biggest pieces of news here. Sony is skipping E3 this year. They will not have a conference at E3. And the reason and the rumor that people believe they're doing that is because they're going to have a huge PSX, which is their big launching event, and they're probably going to announce the PS5. That's what they're saying.
A year early?
No, not a year early, but just announce it.
For consumer sales.
Yeah, they're going to say, hey, the PS5's coming, and it will be next year. It will be 2 years from now.
Right.
Just the announcement.
Okay, cool.
Because the rumor was it might come out in 2019, but this PSX will happen in 2019. So it wouldn't surprise me if they announce it in 2019 and it comes out in 2020.
I was going to say, all the rumors I read said that it was going to come out 2020.
Yeah.
So that's why I was curious if they were going to announce it early and then still have the 2020 date that they're pushing for.
I think so. Usually they announce a console like a year before it comes out.
Yeah. So that way they can,
build hype,
but also, like, I remember when the PS4 and the Xbox One came out, they were able to tweak some things that maybe consumers thought to be either redundant or terrible. Like the whole always on thing with Xbox One, like everybody hated that.
Yeah.
And then like no physical copies, everybody hated that too.
Yeah, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, that was a huge controversy because like once you use your physical copy, you couldn't let anybody else use it or something like that.
And then the PlayStation made the joke, like they released this video. It was like a tutorial. They're like, how to share your game, and the guy just handed it to the other guy.
Yeah.
That I think that the landscape of what PlayStation and Xbox is right now is a huge, like the fact that PlayStation's beating the brakes off Xbox. There's a big reason. That's a big reason. Yeah. It also launched at a cheaper price because it didn't have to have the Kinect.
Right. Yeah. Which is useless.
Yeah, which is literally useless.
Yeah.
Well, even like now the PlayStation Eye is even of more use because you can use it with the VR.
Right. And then the other thing too. With the whole PlayStation versus Xbox, I haven't even fired up my Xbox in forever. I still need to buy Forza Horizon 4. It's been out for ages and I haven't played it.
Yeah, my Xbox is sitting in my office and not doing anything.
Dormant.
Literally not hooked up. Yeah, and actually my Xbox controller has no batteries in it, and I let my son play with it.
That's another thing that still makes me mad about Xbox. You still need to feed your controller a battery.
Yeah. Or
a battery pack.
Yeah.
Where it's like PlayStation. Hello, you can just recharge your battery.
Yeah, I just have a charging stand. It literally just clicks in and then charges the battery. I don't have to plug anything in. It's way better.
Same.
Wow. Didn't I suggest to you to get that?
Yeah, you did.
Well, yeah. But anyway, I think that that could be cool. We'll see what happens. It wouldn't surprise me to see at PSX a launch date for Red Dead. Not Red Dead, excuse me, The Last of Us. And it shouldn't be that long. Last of Us will come out next year. And then a launch date for PlayStation 5. It wouldn't surprise me if they're like August 2020 or something.
Yeah. I would give a month and a year.
Yeah. Nice. Alternatively, the last piece of news I have, and I forgot to tell you about this because I forgot that I had this piece of news.
How dare you?
Prima Games is closing its doors, the maker of all the strategy guides. I don't know if you know them.
Okay.
Did you ever do strategy guides as a kid?
No, I was poor. I had to sort it out. Actually, no, I had one strategy guide. Two, actually. One for GoldenEye, and then the other one for Dino Crisis.
Didn't you? I bet you read them when you weren't playing the games, like in school. Yeah. I'd
look at the pictures too.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing. They had some original artwork oftentimes in there.
Yeah, well, for the GoldenEye one, there was like this like weird photo. I'll see if I can dig it up.
That'd be cool to see.
Yeah, they had a photo of this gun that I never could find in the game, and then I bought a Game Shark to see if it was like in all guns cheat. And it wasn't there.
So it must have not been in the game at all.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell it was. I'll see if I can dig it up, and maybe I was just looking at it wrong as a kid. Or I can find I guess I could probably find a PDF of it online somewhere.
I think, certain games it's cool to have. Like, I was thinking about it on the way over. So I probably told you this before. I have, like, the Earthbound Special Edition.
Yeah.
Like, with the guide and stuff. And I played through Final Fantasy VII with an actual guide. And I don't know. It's a different experience playing with the guide for older games like that. Newer games, like, I don't really care about. But I think it would be cool with the re-release of Final Fantasy VII if you could buy a guide for it, like a new guide.
I mean, I for nostalgia's sake, maybe. But, like, you could do everything with YouTube now.
Exactly. But some people, I think, I'm not saying a mass-produced guide, but like a guide that you could buy.
A special edition that just comes with a guide. Okay. I could see that.
But yeah, rest in peace. I had a couple of my Medal of Honor Frontline. Yeah, the guide for that, and I got that before I even got the game, and I was so excited for the game. I just read everything.
Frontline came out before Rising Sun. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then it was just Medal of Honor before Frontline.
Well, there's Medal of Honor, then there's Medal of Honor like Pacific Assault, if I remember correctly. They're both PC only games.
Oh, okay. I'm just talking about console then.
And then console, the first one's Medal of Honor Frontline. Yeah.
Yeah. Tight.
And Steven Spielberg was actually involved in the creation of that game. They literally called it GoldenEye Saving Private Ryan.
I remember whenever you would get the canteen to heal yourself, it was like...
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, it made a weird, like, dropping a
I remember that.
Sound.
I always remember that whenever a tank would show up, you'd go straight for the machine gun nest and just shoot the tank with the machine gun and just explode.
Or the guy's like, show me your papers!
Yeah, I know.
Like, it's so weird that this Nazi is speaking English to me.
It's so funny that I haven't thought about this shit in years, but it's just coming back to me because I played the heck out of it. There's one part where you go and you like steal a Nazi's clothes, and then you show him the papers, and you go in, and then he runs out in his boxers. He's like, "Someone's stolen my clothes! Look around!"
Yeah,
it was good times. But yeah, that's one I had.
Well, another piece of news. Have you heard of this? It's PUBG coming to PlayStation.
I did see. It should be interesting to see how it's compared to Xbox.
Yeah, I know that like a lot of like elitists out there are gonna say that the Xbox One X it does native 4K, so you're gonna get better graphics.
But PUBG looks shitty,
exactly.
So, yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Like the graphics almost don't even matter at that point.
I'd say the graphics don't matter on most games that are on console. Maybe like Red Dead, it does matter.
Yeah, I mean that's
it looks so good.
That's where you hear a bunch of people saying that particular argument. But I think that you told me that there was going to be a skin that you could download. Yeah,
so the Nathan Drake skin. So basically, you can do Nathan Drake's hair. I think his back. You can do Ellie's backpack from The Last of Us as a skin, and then Nathan Drake's clothes.
So they just call outs to like PlayStation exclusives.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
I don't know, that should be interesting. The hard thing is I feel like PUBG has fallen so far behind these other ones. Like, I don't know if I told you, I've been playing this game called Ring of Elysium. And imagine PUBG, except at the beginning of the game, you don't parachute in. You select where you go, and you can see where everybody is in the map. So you can go to a less populated or more populated area, and you can pick 1 of 3 kits. You can either do a snowboard, a glider, or like a winch, like a pulley that you can do zip lines on. And it's interesting because one of PUBG's things that a lot of the pros use is they actually, when the circle closes, they fight outside the circle. So they'll wait outside the circle healing and kill people who are in the circle, because usually you're not looking outside the circle for people. In this, you can't do that at all. And it's not a circle, it just closes by zone. So it could be weird.
Like quadrants,
or quadrants,
like sections.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really weird. But that game I've been playing, it's a lot of fun. It feels more smooth. But yeah, it's free.
What is this called again?
Ring of Elysium, and it's actually the people who made it own part of Epic, the people who make Fortnite, and they own part of PUBG. So they own like 40% or something of Bluehole. So they have their their foot in the water there.
Yeah, so maybe like the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've been playing that. It's a little off topic, but yeah, it's a good one. I haven't played it lately just because I've been moving, but yeah.
Hey, and I'm sorry to report there's nothing new on Britney Watch. I know. Yeah, for those of you that were waiting, for all the fans that were clamoring for more Britney Spears news, I haven't done any research, so there could be news. I had nothing to report.
Well, rest in peace. But
yeah,
now for the main section of our show today, we're going to talk about I'm calling it the age of retro. We've seen the NES Classic, the SNES Classic, and now the PlayStation 1 Classic. We're going to talk a little bit about when is something not classic anymore? Is the PlayStation 2 Classic now?
What's considered classic?
Yeah. So we'll talk a little bit about that, and then we're going to, if there is a PlayStation 2 Classic, which I think, if anything, that'll be the last PS2 or the last classic console. What games would we want?
Yeah.
As you were talking earlier, we were looking through our favorite games and talking about our favorite games, and a lot of them on PS2 are already available on another console like PS3 or PS4 that you can just play. Yeah,
good point. So before we were talking and we were just bringing up a list of these games that come to mind that you can easily get on like mobile now, though they're not like as friendly as like the console games, would be titles such as like, Metal Gear, because I think that you can even download like they're not necessarily like on mobile, but you can download like remastered versions on your current console.
Isn't there like a PS4 HD collection?
Yeah, you could definitely do PlayStation 3, I think.
Was it PlayStation 3?
Yeah. Unless there's like a new PlayStation 4 one. But games on mobile would include like
all the
Grand Theft,
games.
Grand Theft Auto, all the way up until I think like
San Andreas,
but even some of like the spin-off ones like
like Liberty City.
Yeah, Chinatown one.
Wars.
Yeah, Chinatown Wars. And then Final Fantasy.
Yeah. 7's available. I think 8 and 9 are available on your phone.
Yeah, word up. So, I mean, it would be kind of a waste to use up one of your titles on a classic.
Well, do you include it? Because, I mean, Final Fantasy 7 was included on the...
And it is a classic. Mm-hmm. And same thing goes for a lot of Grand Theft Auto or just Rockstar games in general. Like, they're classics. Dude.
Yeah. No, they are classics. So,
except for Warriors. Warriors sucked.
Well, I never played that game, but I always remember Warriors.
Come and play.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was bad.
It was bad?
Yeah, it was bad. Like, I had no fun playing it.
Do you remember the game called State of Emergency?
Yeah.
The rioting?
Yeah, dude, that was awesome. I forgot all about that.
I forgot about that. I don't know what made me think about that game. I remember there's like a fat Bato-looking guy, right?
Yeah.
And you could just break stuff.
Yeah, holy crap.
He's pulling it up now.
Yeah, continue to talk.
There's a first one and a second one, I think, and I just remember that you could like break parts of the city during the riot, and then like there'd be too much heat and you'd have to like run off.
That's so fun. Yeah, because I remember.
Yeah, there it is. That's the Vato guy.
My cousin, Mr. Lonely. Me and him used
Kevin?
to play. No, that's my friend.
Oh.
Mr. Lonely and I used to play this all the damn time. This game was super fun.
Yeah, you got scores by breaking things.
That's so rad.
That's probably native resolution right there.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, dude, just like sitting here like rioting. And,
look at
like,
arms gone and stuff. You know what it reminds me of?
Manhunt?
No, that zombie game that's in the mall where you take pictures.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was like Xbox's main game. I don't know why I can't think of it.
Oh, Left 4 Dead?
No, not Left 4 Dead. It was gosh, I can't think of it. Where you get to put weapons together and like kill tons of zombies. It was like an Xbox thing. Anyway. But yeah. I can't remember that game. But, State of Emergency. I don't know why I thought of it. I remember renting it from Blockbuster. Because you had to break, like, storefronts and stuff. That would be a good game to be on Classic.
Yeah.
It's a game, Smuggler's Run. It's a game that doesn't have, like, especially... Oh, yeah.
I forgot all about PlayStation 2, like, containers having the spot for your memory card.
I legitimately think that it's a complete missed opportunity that the memory cards don't carry games. Like, it would be cool if there's volumes.
Yeah.
And you just had the memory card, you put it in for PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2. You know how big those were, right? Those memory cards?
Like 8 megabytes.
8 megabytes. And you could buy a special, like, Mad Catz one that had 32 megabytes.
Yeah, with the pages. You had the buttons for the pages.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
Those were the good days.
The good old days.
We're nostalgic.
These are definitely I could classify this as classic.
He's showing the box, the PlayStation 2 box. I don't know if you guys remember the game came with the big manual as well as the game, and then above the game there's actually a slot for a memory card to carry over to your friends.
Yeah, and they look like DVD cases. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those were rad.
They were high quality though.
Oh, low price too.
$50. Remember when games were $50?
I remember when they were like $40.
I don't remember that.
No, because I'm thinking even back to like Nintendo 64. My brother had we donated a bunch of, or we didn't donate. We sold a bunch of cans back for the deposits, and we saved up a ton of cans to buy a video game. And for some reason, my older brother was in charge of picking the game. I think that was just a missed opportunity to put my input in. And he bought this really lame game called Automobile Lamborghini, where you just race Lamborghinis around. And we could have bought like any game for $60. And he bought Automobile Lamborghini, which is like one of the worst games of all time. You have it?
No, I have a box version of Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
And on that box version, it still has the cellophane on it. Well, it's a cellophane, but you can pull it out. And it was called, or it had a price tag for $79.99. A Super Nintendo game. Is that it right there?
Yeah.
Automobile.
It shows like a Lamborghini Diablo in yellow on the cover, riding against a sunset.
Oh, like a horrible sunset.
Yeah, and dude,
N64. And you guys probably played the hell out of it anyway. Right?
All the cars looked exactly the same.
Really? And isn't that a Ferrari?
No, that's a. I think that's a Countach or something.
Oh.
But yeah, all the cars look exactly the same. No, that's a Diablo.
Yeah, that is.
So yeah, it was not a fun game, and basically all you do is race against each other or race against yourself and compete in time trials.
It's interesting because each person has their own classic, right?
Yeah.
Like we read off those PlayStation 1 classics, and some of them were like cool, but others I was like, I don't care about those. But I like to look back, and there's some PlayStation 2 games that I loved that not everyone else necessarily did.
Well, okay, if it was up to you then, Scott, if that is your real name, what would you have on a PlayStation 2 Classic?
PlayStation 2 Classic, I'd definitely have Mark of Cree, if you haven't played that game.
I've not even heard of it.
Which reminds me, you heard that, I forgot to talk, we didn't talk about this. Did you know, we talked about this before, they're doing a remake of Medieval, the game Medieval.
Yeah. With like the little skull dude.
Did you see that trailer?
Yeah.
We didn't get to talk about that, but yeah. Anyway, Medieval, they're doing it. Mark of Cree, here it is. Mark of Cree, you basically play as almost like a tribal.
It's like a Pacific
Islander, yeah.
Like tribesman.
Yep, cool.
You compete against, you battle against people using melee combos.
Yeah, melee combos. And I don't know.
Ooh, stealthy.
Yeah, there's a lot of stealth kills because that was the cool thing about it is you could sneak up behind people and like gory kill them by like stabbing them and picking them up and stuff. You're basically the Rock.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun, and you could chop off people's heads and arms and stuff, which was kind of cool at the time. The Mark of Cree. I loved that game, and no one else played it. I felt like.
Yeah, I've never even seen this game.
You never even seen it?
No.
Oh. Yeah.
And then the cover is basically just him holding this giant staff.
Yeah, because there's a lot of different weapons.
Against the sunset.
You had this bird.
Why is everything against the sunset?
You had this bird that could fly around and like spot enemies and stuff.
It's over his shoulder in the cover.
Mm-hmm. Mark of Cree. It was a good game.
Nice.
Well, should I keep going with games I would put on?
Okay. Go ahead.
Other games I would put on, of course, Resident Evil 4. Although Resident Evil 4 was really primarily on GameCube. Yep. That was the big GameCube launch. I would put the hell out of that on there. That makes sense.
Yeah.
God of War 2, because that is the best God of War on the console. I would put Black. Did you play Black?
No.
They touted it as being like the most realistic combat game ever. But it was pretty weird. Black. Twisted Metal Black. Did you play Twisted Metal Black?
Yeah. No, it was dope. I loved it.
So, interestingly enough, it's interesting that we're talking about this.
They had like all the stories and stuff, right?
Yeah, because the other day I was packing and I was really bored, and I was I'm like burnt out on all the books I was listening to and the podcast I was listening to. So, I don't know what made me think of it, but I thought of Twisted Metal Black. So, it was like an hour and a half long, and it was every story.
I got caught up in a rabbit hole like that too.
And I watched all of them, and there's like one with Mr. Grimm where basically he's like, he goes to Vietnam and he's like, I'm with my buddy. And then he gets captured by the Vietnamese, and he's like, this guy shows up and says, I can let you out, but you gotta eat your friend. And then he eats his friend and gets like a taste for flesh.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of really cool stories in that. And that game was
No Face. That was tight.
I forgot about that. No Face.
Yeah. Dude, Sweet Tooth's story was pretty nuts too. Like, he's just a psychopath and killed his wife, right?
Well, he killed a lot of people. He would murder.
He
would murder children. And actually, it's funny because his story intermingles with another one of the players, who's the preacher. Yeah. And the preacher, what happens to him is he actually is doing an exorcism on a baby, and he ends up killing the baby as well as its family because the demon goes into him. At the end of the game, you find out that he's actually crazy. The demon goes
into him?
Well, the demon transfers into him.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, you find out he's crazy. But in Sweet Tooth's story, he kills all these people, and
that was a good character too, Calypso.
Calypso's the main guy.
Yep.
What ends up happening, if I remember correctly, is Sweet Tooth they keep trying to execute him, and he won't die. And so the preacher puts a curse on him to make it so his head is always on fire. It burns him, but he doesn't really care. That's the preacher right there, Brimstone.
Yeah, it's just this dude that's dressed in like a long black coat, one of those preacher hats, almost like a Puritan hat.
Yeah,
and he wears glasses with red lenses.
His specialty was whenever you pulled out his special move, he had like a dude who had been he had been impaled on the front of his car, and he would shoot the dude at you, and it would explode.
Oh, nice!
That was his special move. Yeah, look at all these: Junkyard Dog, Yellow Jacket. I don't know. There's some of the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Minion.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this was a fun game. I remember because it finally gave you a reason to care about some of these characters.
Yeah, Junkyard Dog is interesting because he's like a farmer and he's tending his fields, and all of a sudden a dude flies over with like a crop dusting plane, and it deforms him, and it comes and he survives, and he heads back into his farm, and he finds out that
he looks exactly like Meatloaf from "I'll Do Anything for Love."
I will do,
but I won't do that.
His wife. It turns out his wife had and his lover had conspired to kill him, and so they end up. He survives, so he kills his wife, and that's
nice.
His story. But there's a point.
As one does.
Yeah. What else with a hoe? Actually. Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
With the gardening tool.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right. What other game would you put on your list?
Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Okay, even though it's on mobile.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be. It's PlayStation 2 Classic.
Well, then why wouldn't you put the Grand Theft Auto 3 on there?
I could put Grand Theft Auto 3. I just picked one of them.
Yeah, it's tough because I feel like everybody has their favorite, right?
Yeah,
for exactly. You, is it San Andreas?
I think it's hard. Probably.
For me, it felt like the most complete game.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's still it has as much content as any other Grand Theft Auto game.
Yeah, like my brother still likes Vice City the most. I doubt there are people that like the original Grand Theft Auto 3 over a lot of other ones.
It brings back a lot of memories.
Yeah, the city was awesome. I really enjoyed going to the city. I really enjoyed going to the city to steal the Mafia Sentinels. I thought those were the sharpest.
Those are the best car in the game.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? If you go back and you look at the map, how small it is.
It's tiny. I remember
it's literally tiny.
I remember thinking to myself there's no way I'm gonna remember where to go.
Yeah.
But it's so easy now.
Grand Theft Auto 3 is, I mean, it takes literally 45 seconds to drive across the map.
Yeah.
Full speed.
Yeah. And the other place I would do some Grand Theft Auto was, I think it was on Staten Island. I would take the Yakuza Stinger. Mm-hmm. Those were awesome cars.
The three items were Staten Island, Portland, and Liberty City, right?
I don't know.
No, Liberty City was the whole thing.
I think weren't there? There were 3 islands.
There's 3 islands because the last one was Staten Island. The first one you're on is Portland, and the middle one.
Well, let's find out.
Staten Island. Yeah, there it is. Look how small that map is, dude.
Oh my god, this is terrible.
It's it's so small. If you want to look this up, go look up GTA 3 map.
This is terrible.
You'll forget. It says you can click on it for original size. There you go. It is tiny. The first map is literally like what would be a neighborhood.
Shoreside Vale? Why don't I remember that?
You don't remember Shoreside Vale?
No.
Yeah, look, Staten Island, Shoreside Vale, and then Portland is on the right.
That was like almost San Francisco, right?
No. It was like its own little thing. It had a dam.
Yeah.
It had a big dam, and it was like where the rich people lived.
Yeah, like where Catalina's like dad or whatever lived, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't like San Francisco, I don't think. Not that I remember. It was
similar to that. Because it had that giant hill.
Maybe it was. And then Staten Island is literally like New York City. It was supposed to be like New York. And then Portland was also
Philly,
like New York.
Right?
Was it like Philly?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because you had that like iconic train system.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I can't believe that. Look, it has all the different gangs. The Yakuza, the Diablos. Remember the Diablo Stallion?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That thing had terrible handling.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what was pathetic? You want to hear something pathetic?
Huh.
Before I had enough money to buy a memory card, my brother and I used to stay up and do all the missions and see how far we could get before we had to turn the game off.
Yeah.
And we would never get past Staten Island. Or Staten
You
Island.
Did you ever put in the dodo cheat and then fly the tank over to the other islands?
No, I didn't do that. That would be cool, though. Man, that game was fun.
Yeah, so that would be a good game to put on. Like, you remember Chatterbox with Laszlo? That's all I listened to.
Oh, yeah.
Young, huh? There was one of the radio stations. All they would do is they would interrupt the whole thing behind this radio station is it would interrupt the song. So it'd be like, I always remember their song is "She's on fire, fire," and then it would just stop and go, "She is on fire." That's not the whole map, is it? That's the whole map, dude.
So the whole map for Vice City is even less. There's literally just 2 islands, but several bridges.
I can't believe it's that small.
Jesus Christ.
Dang. I remember I used to have that map right there. It came with the game.
God damn it, dude.
Little Havana.
I remember all of this. This was fun though, because then I would just drive up and down the beach running people over.
Yeah,
that was fun.
That too. I recommend if you never played a game, never played a Grand Theft Auto game, or one of the older ones, go look at the maps. It's crazy how small they are. I mean, there's like, I won't even know. I wish there was maybe something to size, like a size map or some sort.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna compare them.
No. So okay, San Andreas. Look how much bigger San Andreas is.
Yeah, San Andreas is gigantic compared to those other ones.
One, like just Los Santos on the bottom right, is the same size as any of the other two combined.
Yeah.
Dude, this map was dope because that is San Francisco on the left. It's called San Fierro.
Yeah.
It's called San Fierro, and the top right is Las Vegas, which was called Los. I can't remember what it's called, but that's Las Vegas in the top right.
Las Vagos or something.
Yeah, Las Vegas in the top right, and the bottom right is LA, and the bottom left is San Francisco. That was dope. That map is legit. Mount Chiliad.
Huh.
Those are the counties. I don't remember.
We got locations, dude. This actually had a lot of like Easter eggs in it. If you go through it,
yeah, a lot.
This just turned into a Grand Theft Auto podcast.
Yeah, apparently.
So what other games would you put in to your classic? Refer to your notes, my friend.
Yeah, I'm going to Silent Hill 2.
Ooh, scary.
Dark Cloud, which you brought up the fact that you would play as far as you could. One time, I always remember, I didn't have a memory card, but I had PS2, and the only thing I had a DVD called, it's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah.
And I also had rented Dark Cloud. And I played Dark Cloud, I played it all day for like 10 hours. And my mom was at work, and I remember calling her and memory cards were like $50 or $40 or something. And I called her and I said, "Mom, please, could you buy me a memory card? I want to save my game." And I was afraid that even when she bought the memory card, when I plugged it in, it wouldn't instantly notice that a memory card. You'd like restart, but it worked. And Dark Cloud was cool because it was like a dungeon crawler, where basically one day this dude shows up and he takes the whole city. And
backdrop to sunset.
No, it's actually a cloud.
Yeah, well, against the sunset.
It sunsets for days.
Yeah.
But he took the city and he actually I don't know how to say it.
More sunsets.
I don't know what that game even is that you're just showing. That wasn't Dark Cloud that I knew. But he takes the parts of the city. You can see it right there. If you look on the right, there's like the city building. Yeah. So you would find the parts of the city, and you had to go and you'd place the houses around, and you'd go talk to the people, and they say, "Oh, thank you for saving me. But I used to live closer to the gaffer or the mayor," and so you would listen to them, and you would have to build the town to the best of your ability, with where people like to live.
Can I be 100% real with you?
Yeah.
This looks like a game for wimps.
How dare you? Dark Cloud's an awesome game.
It looks pretty...
No, it's not. It's actually really well reviewed.
Okay. Well...
Look at the reviews.
Okay, I will. But you know me, like, judge a book by its cover.
Well, I'll let you know that's a good game. Dark Cloud.
Okay.
It was all randomized too. Every dungeon was randomized, which was new at the time.
Well, which other one?
I think that I might have one more. A football game like Madden 2003 or something, just to go back.
I thought you wanted NFL
or ESPN
2K5.
2K5 would be good too, just because that's dead.
Damn, dude, that was the last one, huh?
That was the last one. Well, they lost the NFL
like
license. And now only Madden can make it. It's really depressing, actually.
And you were gonna say another NFL game, right? Weren't you gonna put NFL Street on there?
Oh yeah, NFL Street. I played the shit out of that game. Ricky Williams was on the cover.
Yeah.
Right. What games did you play? Or would you put on the console? I mean,
not naming some of the ones that you named. I think ones that you left out would be like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3.
Yeah,
that's definitely going to make it into my list.
What about Underground?
Yeah. Why the hell not, dude? Underground was tight.
You can get off your board and run around.
I'd rather have Underground than Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, actually. And then the NBA Street game, or the NBA Street titles. If we're gonna do like a classic console, make it like kind of like, do you remember Super Nintendo had Mario All Stars?
Yeah.
Where you would have the Mario title, but like all the different games.
Yeah.
So they should have like Tony Hawk, but have like all the games.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Or like have Final Fantasy, but have all the games, because they can't be that big of files.
No, yeah, for sure.
And then let's see the other game that do you remember Manhunt?
Yeah,
Manhunt was tight.
Yeah, it was super tight. Well, so to go back real quick, I want to go back to Manhunt, but you brought up NBA Street. The cool thing that game did that I still miss is you would play through the story mode and you built your own team, and as you beat a team, you got to take a player off that team and put him on your team, like Allen Iverson or anything like that. That was awesome. But I just wanted to say that because you reminded me of it. But Manhunt, I got that from Gamefly, but I never really remember playing it much.
It was
pretty
fun,
brutal,
dude.
Apparently, right?
Well, yeah, and like you also had to like have a level of stealth. There was a level of stealth involved.
Wasn't it like you were in a prison or something?
I can't even remember the story, to be honest with you. But the object of the game was to, like, beat the shit out of people or kill people.
I thought you were in like almost a prison riot or a prison that went bad, and you go around killing people and guards and stuff.
Oh, I don't even remember.
It's like the people actually like created and started murdering people like crazy because it was like this out of control prison.
Oh, dude, and then the death scenes were insane.
Yeah.
It would be like as if somebody was recording it. That was a pretty twisted game.
You know that's a cool way to do it because it makes it seem more brutal.
Yeah.
You ever play Kane and Lynch?
Yeah, I did. I played the first one. I didn't play the second
similar
one.
when you like shot someone in the face, it would blur out the head.
Ugh.
So even though they've taken the blur off and it wasn't that gory, but the fact that it was blurred out, you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of it, kind of doing a camera trick, if you will. What other games?
No, you know what? I don't think so.
What about
Gran Turismo 4? You would have like the cool concepts that like each automaker was working on at the time, which is kind of cool.
That was when Gran Turismo was king.
Yeah. Now it's Forza.
Yeah, it's definitely Forza.
I would say yes to Metal Gear if only like it hadn't been released so many times. Like everybody has it on probably on the current gen console as a remastered version. So I mean, I would say yes.
Would you take the original one or like the non-remastered?
The remastered one.
You want the remastered?
Yeah. I would say yes to the
Controls
remastered
are kind of weird.
Controls are weird, but everything looks better. And I guess that's like everybody knocks the remaster one because they took the element of those controls back then out.
Yeah. The last I wanted to, we didn't need to go super deep to the PlayStation 2 one. But maybe what games would you bring on your PS3? Are there any if you could go and buy a PlayStation 3 for $100 and it came with like what titles would it come with that you would be like, okay,
for PlayStation 3
that you can't play now? Like I was thinking like old Killzones.
Yeah. No, that's a really good one. I mean, it's tough because there's so many that you can already play on PlayStation 4. That's where I think it gets like almost impossible, where you can't really create a classic console anymore because they've just re-released them. Yeah, I can't think of any, man. It's too difficult.
It is difficult.
I'd have to pull up a list of like PlayStation 3 exclusive games.
PlayStation 3 exclusive game.
But what about like a Nintendo 64? We already asked that, but like what about like GameCube? There were tons of GameCube games.
Yeah. Animal Crossing for sure. Gotta get some Animal Crossing. Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 0.
Yeah, that one was difficult.
The Legend of Zelda's like Wind Waker, which had a remake, but Wind Waker and God, I played the shit out of Wind Waker back in the day. Yeah, look at that. Here you go. If you look at the best games on PlayStation 3, let's see here.
Here, I'll go back to that list.
Hotline Miami is already on it. The Last of Us, which you can play on PlayStation 4 right now. Grand Theft Auto 5, which you can play right now. Uncharted. God of War 3, which was free on PlayStation.
Can't really play.
Sons and Patriots is one you cannot play.
Yeah, so maybe that one, because that one was a good one.
Yeah.
I know everybody gives it shit for all the cinematic cutscenes.
I like that game, though.
It was so good, dude.
Call of Duty 4 you can play. Grand Theft Auto 4 you can't really play.
Heavy Rain was tight.
It's free. It was free, though. Yeah. And like you said, just to go back to what you said, and Dark Souls, free.
Yeah.
Or not free, but you can play it.
Right.
Demon Souls is one that I truly wish that they didn't have rights disputes on, because that game was a lot of fun. But yeah.
Right.
Black Ops.
Oh, the Infamous series.
Yeah.
That was tight.
Yeah. A lot of these games are just regular games, you know, that you can play like right now if you go get them on PlayStation 4. Portal.
But I think that was that released on mobile?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, never mind.
Valve doesn't give a shit about anybody.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, all those games you can play, like Borderlands 2. I was playing that with my wife relatively recently. So it's a co-op game that we talked about in our co-op episode.
The Dead Space trilogy, the Dead Space series. Mm-hmm. That was a good one. Yeah,
the 1 and 2 is really good. 3 got a little weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, those games, like we're saying, is they're no longer classic because you can just play them. There will never be a classic. Even with PlayStation 6, I feel like you'll be like, well,
they'll probably try it, but like it's going to be one of those things where like somebody's like, oh, I already downloaded this on my current gen console.
Yeah, exactly. One last thing I wanted to touch on, in some of our first episodes, we predicted what the future would hold for video gaming and stuff.
Yeah.
Have you seen what's come out with not only Google's streaming service, but also like the Shadow stuff?
No.
Well, for example, with Shadow, it's a new streaming service. You pay $35 a month. Your first month you can get discounted for $10 bucks, I think. Literally, you get a PC somewhere else. It has a GTX 1080 in it, max graphics. It's got a terabyte of hard drive, which you can pay for more, I think, if you want. It's got like basically maxed out specs. So you literally log onto your PC at somewhere else, and you can play any game you want. You download all your games to that PC. Well, or this.
And you play remotely?
You play remotely. It's all remote play.
I wonder what kind of like internet
They say 26 megabytes is what you need. That's what they say the minimum.
26 megabits per second?
Yeah, megabits. Yeah, exactly.
Huh. I mean, that's basically anywhere then.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing at like a coffee shop or something.
Of course, yeah, exactly. But of course it varies, right? Just like if you're watching a YouTube video, the quality might drop. But I have a gigabit memory, or I feel like it probably run just fine.
Damn. How much are the games?
Well, it's a PC. So you can just download Steam on that remote PC, and if you have the Steam games, you download them.
Like you that has like an endless supply of games?
Yeah.
Holy
If I wanted to play those games, like it's a really interesting idea for me, because they're like, well, you can just, and this is a service Google's starting to offer as well, you can literally play those games like on your iPad. Remember, we predicted it.
Yeah, you heard it here first, y'all.
That would be the future. Imagine someday. I think I've talked about this before. Excuse me, where you buy the monitor. The monitor just has USB slots on it, and then like comes with 2 months free of subscription to your PC.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
The interesting thing too is that PC has a gigabit connection. So if you want to download a game, it downloads to the remote PC
like basically instantly.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So that's going to be really interesting.
So I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe that's something. I know that like Microsoft's already trying to work something out along those lines with cloud gaming. But maybe PlayStation has an answer to that too. And then with Google, at work,
getting back in it,
there's probably going to be something special that they'll toss out too.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. And I mean, we know with phones getting bigger and bigger, how long is it until you pull your phone out and start playing Madden, full like everything on your phone just by carrying a controller around?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even have enough time, but
I'm just saying, like on lunch.
But that's
you
what
want to get
saying.
A football game in.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have enough time to just like play a video game. That would be an answer to like somebody's time crisis.
Yeah. That's a kind of cool idea because like sometimes I'm on lunch, I just watch a YouTube video. I have an hour-long lunch.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I did over? I think last week I was on lunch. Brought my laptop with me. Brought my controller.
Wow.
Remote played Red Dead.
That's how you know you don't have any friends at your new store.
That's true, except for I have one friend. He wasn't there that day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sad day.
Yeah.
Well.
I'm just kidding. They're all my friends.
Yeah, they're every single one of his new coworkers. But yeah, I think there's kind of a lot there, and I think I've touched on most things. Did we already talk about N64, didn't we? What we want to see out of
yeah,
N64?
And if you don't remember that one, I can't even remember what episode that was.
I think 24.
Yeah, just scroll through our catalog. We end up talking about it at some point.
Yeah, because this is episode 26.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't have the answer to that.
We're both kind of rusty when it comes to anything related to the podcast, just because life happens.
Yeah, and it's also been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope podcast to step to.
Well, didn't we do 2 podcasts back to back? And me and Jose haven't seen each other in like a month and a half or something.
Yeah, Scotty's been out of my life for that amount of time.
Yeah, and so I think, is there anything else you want to bring up about all this?
The only thing that I guess I've thought about in the last few weeks or something has been just like the new games that I just haven't gotten a chance to play. There are new games out there that I've been wanting to play. Yeah. Fallout 76 was one of them, but like now it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to.
I think this is the first time in my life. I mean, it's interesting because we're old. We're in our late 20s, right? I mean, you might be in your late 30s, but I'm in my late 20s, and but it's everyone around us. Part of the reason we even started this podcast is all of our friends, at least at the store that Jay used to work at and the store that I work at, they play games. And so I think that's really kind of pushes you to play more because like Red Dead came out and everyone at my store was talking about it.
Yeah.
Dude, we were all like, dude, did you see this? Did you see that? Which, by the way, there's a couple cool things about Red Dead that we found. Have you found the serial killer?
Yeah.
Or the aliens?
Not the aliens.
Yeah. Or there's werewolves and dude, there's a lot of crazy things that we've been finding, and so to go to work and be like, dude, did you find this? I think that pushes me to want to play more.
Yeah.
And it's the first time in my life I feel like I don't really have a lot of time to play. I get off work. I get home at 7:30. I put my son to bed at 8:30. I usually watch a show with my wife, and if I do
what show are you watching?
I'm watching The House on Haunted Hill. I'm only like 4 episodes deep.
What do you think?
It's all right. My wife likes it.
It sucks, and you know it.
No, it's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't hate it, but it's not great. We're watching Medal of Honor as well.
Yeah, but hold on. Give me this, though. With the Haunting of Hill House, the dialogue seems like it was written by like a teenager.
It does really seem like a show that shouldn't be on Netflix. It should be like on ABC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suck it, Ben.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Neb. Neb, what's his name? Notlaw?
Neb Notslaw.
Neb Slobnob. That show sucks, and it should have been on ABC. You heard it from Scotty.
It is. You notice that some shows like that just have, like, when you watch a show on ABC, it just has, like, it's like ABC ABC-ist.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like regular TV like.
Catch it next week, Thursday at 7, right after Seventh Heaven.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus
There's almost
Christ.
it's almost too clean. That's the word I always use for it.
Yeah.
My wife gets mad at me because she's like, he won't watch anything that's on, like, ABC because it's so stupid.
Good wholesome fun.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
I'm just like, one show she's been watching lately is it's kind of interesting. It's kind of funny. I tune in halfway sometimes. It's called Separating Together or something like that. Have you seen it? It has Jenna Fisher in it. It's about, like, a couple that divorced but they still live together.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird. That's an interesting concept.
That's a new thing that a lot of people are doing because they can't afford separate houses.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of, like, I don't even know if I'm. Oh man, I am watching a couple.
Oh
of
yeah,
different
sorry,
shows.
I forgot. Yeah, what are you watching?
I am watching the latest season of Great British Bake Off.
Oh yeah,
It's dope. The things that some of these people will create. There's, like, some unsavory contestants, and you hope that they get eliminated, but they don't. They're pretty damn good.
That reality TV.
Yeah.
I told you I got really into Forged in Flame.
Yeah, how's that been going, by the way?
I kind of got over it because all the knives look the same.
What, don't they use, like, interesting metals?
Yeah, I mean, but it's like they'll be like, all right, for this one you have to do a Damascus steel, and you're like, okay, he's doing the Damascus.
Okay, wait,
steel.
how many people are contestants on that have ponytails?
There's if they're younger, they have ponytails.
Wire rim glasses.
Yeah,
yeah, dude.
but they'll be like, okay, it's Damascus. Okay, I'm like, okay, cool, Damascus, and they're like, okay, this time you have to use a billet and just use steel, and I'm like, okay,
I bet you they have long fingernails too.
Yeah, well,
And do they wear vests?
it just depends. They're definitely a
Vests
little
with, like,
awkward.
the buttons.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm envisioning some guy that works at, like, the Excalibur store in the mall.
Yeah. The guy who opened his own retro games.
Yeah. You can pick up this sword and you can dual wield with a dagger. I suggest this dagger.
You saw the video of that guy who has the katana who pulled out the katana in the subway?
Fuck no, that
You've never
sounds
seen
badass,
that?
dude.
You should pull that up. Well, I don't know if you have that tablet ready to go. If you don't, that's totally fine.
Do.
Oh, wow. Does it sound and everything? Look up guy pulls out katana on subway.
Jeez. Guy pulls
And I'll
out
tell you the
katana.
behind the scenes about this. Sorry, we're getting off track. But guess what? It's our podcast, and we can do whatever the hell we want. There, that guy right there. This is a Forged in Flame guy.
Cairo Seijiro wasn't looking for trouble on the light rail that night, but trouble certainly found him. And when that fight broke out, he was ready for it. With
God,
his
he has a
trusty
ponytail.
I actually carry this because I've become a little bit more dangerous without it than with it. So it's more of a restraint mechanism than a safety blanket.
The
Jesus
fight had been
Christ.
going on for about 20
The fight's not
minutes.
even involving him?
Yeah. Watch him.
Jesus. Oh, man, that guy's getting his ones in.
Saw Cairo Seijiro over
Oh, my God.
They probably thought I was just moving out of the way, but I was actually setting up to where they're
Cairo
blocked.
Seijiro!
If he had gone on me, I was planning to go in completely. drop
This
the
is-
sword down,
His katana move.
and
This is the
completely
best-
cut it, completely gape him open. The sad truth is that they weren't even a challenge. I already had a full 5-stage plan ready to take everyone out, and anybody else who got involved, just in case.
This man is
That's just the
dangerous.
way I do
He's
things.
a menace.
This is about what you saw on the train. It's folded, tempered, and it does its job. My
Oh
family
my
couldn't
God,
handle
he
me.
does
I
like
had
a little flourish with
a
it.
surprisingly strange affinity for sharp objects, particularly kitchen knives, when I was a kid.
So he traded in the knives for a lifetime of studying the sword. The katana goes with him everywhere.
Please, everybody
This is-
watch this video.
This is let me finish this whole story.
Sure.
What ends up happening to this particular gentleman is he went on a kayaking trip to show a 16-year-old girl where he practiced his katana moves.
Did he
the
show her
kayak,
his moves?
The kayak flipped and he drowned, and all they found was his body and 2 katanas.
He's dead?
He's dead, dude.
Oh, I felt
He
bad
died.
making fun of him.
No, dude, it's okay. He was trying to get with the 16-year-old girl.
Oh, yeah,
Whatever.
that's terrible. You can't
But
do
yeah,
that.
that actually happened. You can go look up the news article, and literally it says that they found his 2 katanas with him in the kayak. Ridiculous. But sorry, that sidetracked. I don't remember why we started talking about that.
Because we're talking about shows we watch. The other show that I'm watching is The Good Place. Have you ever seen that? Season 3, I think.
Yeah. Well, me and my wife watched like the first 5 episodes, and I get really bored, so she kept.
It's a clever concept.
I found out what happened at the end of the first season.
Oh, spoilers! Mm-hmm. Guess what? I'm unlike any human. Spoilers don't bother me. I still watch it.
Yeah. Well.
Okay. Well, anyways,
I didn't even understand what you said for a second. Unlike any human, spoilers.
No, unlike any human.
Oh, spoilers don't bother. Okay, I didn't hear the
spoilers don't bother me.
So you're gonna have me tell you what the spoiler was, but you already further than the spoiler, I think.
No, I knew what happened, but I still watched it.
Yeah. I got to the part where the guy started talking. That's how. I got.
Yeah. There's a Buddhist monk in there that's not supposed to talk. And hilarity ensues once he does. But yeah, that's basically it. That's all I'm watching right now. Although, for movies, dude, Overlord was fucking phenomenal.
I need to see
it. A+.
A+.
I swear to God, if I was giving it a number rating, 10 out of 10.
Dang.
Yeah, dude.
It was that good?
It was that good. Actually, 9.9 out of 10.
Wow.
This is the reason why I say 9.9. Some of the dialogue was a little contrived.
You know my rating system. If you give it a 10.0, that means that everything was spectacular. Acting spectacular. Graphics spectacular. Like, if you...
Okay, so I'm sorry I cut you off, but Scotty, for a dude that appreciates wars, you might like this. It's instant action, and for a dude that likes horror, you will appreciate this because it takes the whole idea of zombies and gives it a whole... It's not a new spin, but it's like a different spin. Because, zombie movies are fucking stupid.
It looks like Wolfenstein.
It reminds me of Wolfenstein.
You know what happens in Wolfenstein? It's where the Nazis, like, imbue like, humans and, like, grow humans, and they end up being, like, horrible monsters and stuff.
Yeah. So you'll appreciate this. I guarantee it.
I really want
to. For those of you who haven't watched it, please go support that movie because it needs to make like $150 million to break even.
I'm gonna give you to break even.
Yeah, because their marketing team sucks, and they released it after Halloween when they should have released it before Halloween, and they already spent their money on marketing like way before the movie was even close to being released.
So you're saying it's worth getting the 4K Blu-ray?
Yeah, absolutely. It's by far one of the best movies I've seen of 2018.
Wow. The movies I have on 4K Blu-ray are Mad Max, Logan, and
10 Things I Hate About You.
Private Ryan. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Saving Sarah Silverman.
Nice.
But I wish that I could go see more movies. That is one thing that having
go watch
my son
this one
is really hard. Well, we're going probably next Wednesday, but we're going to see Crimes of Grindelwald.
Okay, so if it was me in your situation, I'd give my son a fruit by the foot, so he's fed for at least a foot, and then give him one of those like gerbil feeders that gives him water so he doesn't die of thirst. Go watch this movie. I guarantee he'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay,
that's a good idea.
As for anything else, you have anything else you want to pop out there?
I don't think so. I think we're glad to get back into it, and
we missed you guys.
And to be honest with you, next week is very crazy for both of us.
It might be,
but we're hoping to get it done. I'm gonna try to go live next week because I think we're gonna do this
on Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook. I think we're gonna do this at my place, so it's gonna give me time to actually set up the camera. At some point, it would be cool to do multiple cameras or something. I don't know, but. I think we're going to go live next week. I'm going to get a little a tripod and stuff, and I kind of know how to do all that grind. So,
ooh, nice.
Yeah. And then I'm going to talk to him a little bit about his setup, and I'm going to try to get my own probably.
Him being me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That'd work. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's commence our shout outs.
Shout out to our boy Cookie Lukey. Shout out to, of course, Patrick. And Patrick actually is the one who sent me the news about Google and stuff, about the Google.
Hey, Patrick's a real one, by the way. He's one of the realists.
He is. He hits me up like last week. Hey, where's the podcast?
Yeah. He's keeping us on our game, man. I appreciate that.
My boy Robbie for all the support.
Robbie, another real one.
A real one. Who's someone at some other store listens to us too, right?
Oh,
a couple people. Jacoba. Keep doing your CS going.
Yeah, he's actually a true gamer too.
I know. Who plays CS:GO a lot.
Yeah. So Neb Notlaw.
Yeah.
That's his name?
Yeah. Shout out to him.
Okay, yeah, Neb Notlaw.
He's a turd.
If he was here, Jakob wanted me to give him a message for him, but he's not here, so I'll save it for next week. Oh, no, I'll save it. And he wanted me to do it on the live broadcast. So, for all of you and for Neb, once I see you, I'll deliver the message from Jakob.
Yeah, but next week, tune in for live because we're going to watch the comments. We're going to comment back to people and say, if you have questions or anything like that, it's a great opportunity to talk to the crew.
Yeah, why the flip not? So visit our Facebook page, and we will do our best.
I had a request that we go on Twitch as well, but that's a little above my head right now.
It might be. We might be able to figure it out. We'll try to sort it out.
We're going to start with the Facebook Live, and we'll see what happens, and if we get good feedback. If we have one viewer, like, what's the point?
Yeah. And then my shout-outs. Shout-out to Neb's mother. Say hello to your mother for me. And then shout out to my boys over at Triple Option. Love yous, but other than that, I got to shout
out Zach too. He listens to our podcast, yes. And Cody.
The whole Clack crew, man. Yeah, miss those guys. Mm-hmm. They're like family. We'll see you during Friendsgiving.
Yeah, so I'm guessing we'll be back Monday because that'll be past our whole little Black Friday foray.
Yeah. And for those of you who are having a very lovely Thanksgiving holiday, eat a large piece of turkey for me. Have a good slice of pie.
On Wednesday, think about me and Jay here and Ben because we'll be together doing a little Friendsgiving kind of setup.
I wasn't invited to that.
I think you were.
Okay.
Because I asked today.
No, I'm just kidding. I was invited.
He was coming, and he is coming, and I'm coming.
I'm coming.
Cody's gotten into the habit of saying that all the time, by the way. And yeah, so happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you next week. I think we might do a little bit of we're going to start getting into some Christmas movies, maybe.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got. What about you?
That's all I got. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming, and bye, I guess.
Later. Dude, yeah, best Christmas movies, maybe worst Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Die Hard counts, right? Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
No, it's not!